Hey everyone, I'm Taylor Hull. I'm not coming to you as Formula Drift driver Taylor Hull today. I am coming to you as Southern Classic founder and competitor. So if you don't know what the Southern Classic is, it is a event that is designed for cars 1983 and older, which is when the second Smokey and the Bandit movie came out, because we pretend that every Smokey and the Bandit, anything to do with that, didn't happen after 1983 because it's really bad. Basically what this event is we are standing at the former site of Lakewood Fairgrounds, where you see him as in the Bandit, come and meet Big and Little Enos. That was right here, right over on this spot. And this is Lakewood in Atlanta. So we go from here over to Texarkana, Texas, little brisk drive, and pick up a case of Coors Banquet, and then come back here. And we may or may not keep time. So it's a heck of a time. We got a lot of great people, a lot of great cars. Follow along. It's going to be a hell of a time.
So I did a lot of research and I was looking for something that had really good aero. So I was looking for a low coefficient of drag and decent fuel range. And I was also looking at top speed. So I was really looking for something that could move along at a very high rate of speed for a long time. Fairly efficiently, and I also wanted a car that I could use for shorter events like the Classic, and also for coast-to-coast runs.
He was coming down backwards about the speed of sound. A lot of folks seen him, and they all say he had his head out the window and clear the way. Well, he got to the bottom.
I'm Jared, and this is my friend Henry, where we do a lot of crazy things like drive school buses across countries and drive a 1982 Toyota Supra L-Type. This wasn't our first choice.
Or a second.
Or our third.
Or a fourth.
Like, we're in the teens by the time we finally arrived at this. We were trying to bring a legend, and that legend broke in a half-mile drive, so Stonewall is not here. That was our third car, Stonewall. It left me stranded half a mile from my shop, and we were all over Marketplace and had to greatly exceed our planned budget to get here. But we are here, we're about to set off, and I'm excited.
Clear the way. Well, it got to the bottom, safe and sound. Everybody asked Bandit how he made it down. He said, folks, when the truck picked up too much speed, I just ran along beside it and drug my feet. You heard the legend of Jesse James and John Henry, just to mention some names. Well, there's a truck driving legend in the South today, a man called Bandit from Atlanta, GA. Every gear jammer knows his name. He swears got eyes for the running in his veins. A foot like lead and nerves like steel. He's going up to glory riding ATV.
I hate that.
Oh, tell me.
I got garage time. I realized, I was talking to Bradley and actually the whole crew yesterday, and last night I just realized I missed this.
Yeah.
I missed, this is the garage bullshit. That was the great stuff. So,
Yeah, I just hate it didn't work out.
I told him, well, I'll be back down. I'm not going to leave the job unfinished. So.
Yeah. Do I?
I think the connection fell. Do you have anybody have like needle-nose pliers by chance?
Yep.
Their power window, they put it down to say goodbye to somebody, and it wouldn't go back up. So it may not look like it, but it's like 29 degrees out here, so that would have been a pretty miserable ride for these guys. So
Taylor's the man. Thank you.
no, it's good. We just got a little piece of a jumper wire cut and stripped some wire back on the switch and bypassed the switch, and voila.
The lesson learned: don't be social.
Yeah, exactly. Antisocial is the way. No, just glad they aren't going to be miserably cold on the ride. For the last 25 years, Travis has built this van and tried to get it across the country, and it has never failed to fail, just as it did with Brock Yates. They broke down a couple hundred miles before the finish line. Travis also has never failed to fail in this van, and this is the time they try to finish putting it together, make a run. They've tried to take it across the country for cannonball type stuff already, but they've never done my event, and this is how they try to make it start, complete an event, and finally break the curse. How long has it been since you've been trying to get this thing?
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, my son is 17 years old. I had it three years before him. So I've had it for 20 years.
How many times has it tried and failed?
It has never made
Do you even know?
It has never made it to a starting line since I've owned it. Of course, solo runs. So this is the perf. It broke down on the solo run. In the C2C Express at 2904, it didn't even make it to the starting line.
I remember.
I left Ed in Las Vegas or in New York without a ride, so we had to buy a car. So it has been. You know, when I told Brock Gates I was going to rebuild the Transcon Medevac, his first question was why.
Like, this would be the perfect place to insert, like, the Dale Earnhardt Daytona 500 commentary. The 20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration.
That's true. It's been 20 years.
You heard about the legend of Jesse James and John Henry, just to mention some names. Well, there's a truck driving legend in the South today, a man called Bandit from Atlanta, GA. Ever give Jam a knows his name? That's where he got.
The cold has started to set in. We are, what, 6 or 7 minutes from our start time, so I don't know. We'll see. We're about to go pre-stage this thing. Hunter's going to take the first leg until we run out of gas and see what happens. We got a 5-gallon pail in the back in case it actually runs out of gas, but we're going to try and avoid that.
We'll get a nice steady start. It's going to be a smooth ride.
You've been good though. You've driven the car all of maybe 400 yards.
And I felt great. Confidence is built.
Big slop in the shifter.
Yeah.
You got to find third.
Third gear's a mystery, but when you find it, it's rewarding.
Yeah, it's more like fifth because the throw is so long. But
yeah.
Ready?
I'm ready.
You heard about the legend of Jesse James and John Henry, just to mention some names. Well, there's a truck driving legend in the South today, a man called Bandit from Atlanta, GA. Ever give Jam a knows his name? That's where he got ice for to running anything. Foot like lead and nerves like steel. He's gonna go glory riding the G3. He left Atlanta back in '63, hauling him a load up to Tennessee. He hit Mount Eagle in a driving rain, so hard he couldn't even see the passing lane. Well, he started down the grade when he lost the gear. He hit them brakes, found he had no air. The Mount Eagle grade is steep and long, and everybody that seen him thought the Bandit was gone. Well, his truck jackknife turned completely around. He was coming down backward about the speed of sound. A lot of folks seen him, and they all say he had his head out the windy hill and cleared the way. Well, he got to the bottom, safe and sound. Everybody asked Bandit how he made it down. He said, folks, when the truck picked up too much speed, I just ran along beside it and drug my beat. You heard the legend of Jesse James and John Henry, just to mention some names. Well, there's a truck driving legend in the South today, a man called Bandit from Atlanta, GA. Ever give Jam a knows his name? He swears he's got eyes for the running in his veins. A foot like lead and nerves like steel. He's going up to glory riding 18 feet. Oh, tell me.
Holy crap. Wow.
Sent it.
And this is the current situation. But now we definitely won't have to worry about overheating issues the rest of the way home. God. Holy shit. The roof. Wow. Oh my God.
Made it.
Heck yeah. Just a nice little.
Made it. Just a brisk drive for beer and back.
Thanks, man. It's good to be.
Get it down to 0 without further injuring myself or the car.
Can you at least like squat and see through a little bit, or just?
Oh no, it was just looking out the driver, the door window and referencing the white line. and it took a long time to stop it from that fast because it's just manual brakes. But I mean, we got it stopped and it didn't hurt anything more. But
I just wanted to say thank you so much to Taylor and to everyone else involved and had a part in putting together this event. We had so much fun. And this is, again, a testimony that capable cars and capable drivers are capable of driving at speeds far, far over the speed limits of our highways.
My name's Aaron Talene. I've run this event every year that it's been put on, and in the same car, and then this year I got an offer to drive in his lovely 6.9 Mercedes, and so we decided not to put a new motor in my car that blew a head gasket last year, and run the 6.9, which turned out to be a great plan.
Yep, so I'm Cameron Davis. This is my 1979 450 SEL 6.9. I actually got this from a client of mine just for this event. It's the first time I've run it. I've talked to Aaron about it over the last year or so, and I talked this guy into it. I said, let me have this car. Bought it with all the money I didn't have. And I was like, I have to do this event. Especially since his car wasn't going to make it, we found out. So, yeah, we made it happen. First run.
Yeah, we stripped parts off of everything we could find and bolted them on here and threw together a plan, and it worked out.
Yeah, so this car, my client bought it in 2007. He put like right at 2,000 miles on it in the last 15 years. And the last 2 weeks, we threw all kinds of new parts at it. Like, I mean, a whole week of between me and one of my employees just throwing everything at this thing. And hardly any test run, maybe just driving to his house and back. And loaded up and off we went.
Yeah, we picked it. We got a better start time, and so we were legal for. Well, we didn't lose any time in Texarkana. We were supposed. My car was an outlaw class car, which is the other reason I wasn't super motivated to put the head gasket in it and bring it. But so we moved to a later time, and then we moved to a little bit earlier time when we got here, and all the stars aligned, and you know, the weather and we were a little bit late for the accident that everybody got caught in earlier, and just everything came together, and it was a great run.
What was your time?
13:37.
Where does that place y'all?
First,
as of now,
over everybody. This is a great event, and we love every minute of it. It's unique in the cannonball, in that you see everybody. You know, a lot of times in cannonball races, you don't. You know, you start either in New York or in Connecticut. You don't see anybody until you get to LA. But here we see everybody, you know, passing, and it's a great event. We all come back to the same place and start from the same place, and it's just, you know, I really enjoy it from that perspective. So Taylor's put on a hell of a thing here.
So as you see here, the ambulance is pulling up the finish line. They're punching their ticket, and the 40-some-odd year curse of the ambulance is officially broken by Travis and Ed. What better of a pairing to come together and actually finish Brock Yates' vision and break the curse of an ambulance finishing an event.
You heard about the legend of Jesse James and John Henry, just to mention some names. Well, there's a truck driving legend in the South today, a man called Bandit from Atlanta, GA. Ever give Jam a nose his name? They swear he got ice water running in his veins. A foot like lead and nerves like steel. He's gonna go to glory riding 18 wheels. Oh boy, he left Atlanta back in '63, hauling him a load up to Tennessee. He hit Mount Eagle in a driving rain, so hard he couldn't even see the passing lane. Well, he started down the grade when he lost the gear. He hit them brakes, found he had no air. The Mount Eagle grade is steep and long, and everybody that seen him thought the Bandit was gone. Awesome. Well, his truck jackknife turned completely around. He was coming down backwards about the speed of sound. A lot of folks seen him, and they all say he had his head out to wind the hill and clear the way. Well, he got to the bottom, safe and sound. Everybody asked Bandit Bandit how he made it down. He said, folks, when the truck picked up too much speed, I just run along beside it and
Last one. The last one's my favorite one. The last one's kind of the most near and dear to my heart, and it's really the one that represents why we're all in this room. Yes, we all love cars. Yes, we all love driving fast, sometimes faster than we're supposed to. Some of us like working on them, some of us don't. Everybody loves the people in this room, and that's what it's all about. If it wasn't for all of you, this wouldn't happen, and this wouldn't be any fun. I've done this run by myself the first time, and doing it with all you guys is a lot more fun than doing it by yourself. So, but this person, this team, really, the way it ended up, has done a lot for this community, and will continue to do a lot for this community. And this is called the Yates Gurney Spirit of Driving Award, and you know, what could be more fitting than the team that continued Brock Yates' legacy in the van?
So I'm the guy that can't shut up and doesn't know when.
No.
I take the microphone and give it. But if everybody in here, so I've had that band for 20 years, plus here comes your guy that deserves this.
Yep, take it.
So I've had the band for 20 years. 45 years ago it was built, or at least a version of it. And there is one mechanic in this room, and if you guys don't fucking stand up and give him a round of applause. Jared Peak got the band across the finish line.
He did the same for the other band too.
But you know, that's the ambulance curse is lifted. It made it to a start line, it made it to a midpoint, and it made it to a finish line. So it really couldn't be more fitting, you know, for that to go home with your team. So this started out as just something I was bored and wanted to do on my birthday, and then there was a couple faces, and then there was a few more, and now we filled up a room. It's pretty cool to see how this has grown, and that I just appreciate that it matters enough to everyone here to come and continue to do it, and I hope that you all come back again and had a good time. It's all just about being safe, having a good time, and then everything else kind of just let the chips fall where they may. But thank you very, very much for coming, participating, coming to the awards, and we will see you next year, and I'll be making some announcements on the pages about what that looks like, but thank you very much. That one's yours too.
You heard about the legend of Jesse James and John Henry, just to mention some names. Well, there's a truck driving legend in the South today, a man called Bandit from Atlanta, GA. Ever give Jam a nose his name? They swear he got ice water running in his veins.
All right, folks, that has been the 2023 Southern Classic. I can't explain to you how proud I am of everybody that helped make this whole event possible, from the competitors to the film crew that we have here to the logistics folks. It just takes a village to make this type of thing that has scaled up significantly come to fruition and work. So I just thank you to everybody that made this possible. Thanks to the competitors. And if you're watching this video and don't know if cannonballing's for you, I hope you can tell that everybody here has a good time. So if you're thinking about doing it yourself, make sure to be safe, do your research. If you're coming to one of my events, you're bound to have a good time. Yeah, I mean, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's keep this thing rolling.